Okay, good morning students. In the previous class we discussed about the difference between weather and climate. Now we are going to know about what are the factors that affect the weather and climate. Listen children, India has a wide variations in temperature. It means in India all the places does not receive the same temperature. Listen why there is a variations in India in the temperature patterns. Because in India, some places are located very near to the sea. For example, you take the South India. It has a long coastal line. On the east side, we have the Bay of Bengal. On the west side, we have the Arabian Sea. On the south side, we have the Indian Ocean. So, these coastal areas does not have the wide variations in temperature across the months. Some places are located far away from the sea coast. They are called as inland. Inland places means they are far away from the coast. But these inland places, example you take the Delhi, these inland places have the wide variations in temperature across the months. And some places are located on the higher altitude. For example, you take the Shimla. Shimla is situated on the very higher elevation. You take the Nainital, you take the Ooty, you take the Kodaikanal. These are also, they are all the hill stations. They are situated on the higher altitude. Some places are located near the coast, some places are located far away from the coast, some places are located on the higher altitude, and some places are located on the plain. Because of these differences in their locations, India experiences a wide variations in the temperature. Let us see what are the factors that affect the climate, or what are the factors that affect the weather in our country. The factors that affect the climate are called as climatic controls. These climatic controls may be mainly classified into 4 types. Let us see what are they. First one is latitude. The second one is land and water relationship. And the third one is relief. The fourth factor is upper air circulation. Now begin with the first factor, that is latitude. Let us see how latitude will influence the climate. You all know that latitudes are the imaginary lines that drawn on a globe. You know that our earth is divided by one latitude, that is equator. We show this latitude with the number 0 degree. These all the latitudes are the imaginary lines. These latitudes we drawn for our convenience to assess the location of places in the different region. Let us see how latitude will influence the climate. The intensity of temperature is more near the lower latitudes. Generally, latitudes are of broadly into 2 categories: lower latitudes and the higher latitudes. Lower latitudes are near the equator, higher latitudes are near the poles, North Pole as well as the South Pole. The lower latitudes receive the high temperature when compared to the higher latitudes, because when you just see about the structure of our earth, when you see about the structure of our earth, it is broader here at the middle and it becomes narrow at its north pole as well as at the south pole. Why the lower latitudes receive the high temperature means near the lower latitudes the sunrise falls directly. That's why it receives the higher insolation. Whereas in the north and south pole the sunrise falls slantingly and also it travels for a long distance. That's why the polar regions are cooler. Based upon this latitude, entire globe may be divided into 3 regions. They are tropical region. Tropical region means the region which is close to the equator, this part, between 23 and of northern latitudes to 23 and of southern latitude. It means between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. This zone is called as tropical zone. And the second one is polar region. First tropical, second polar region. polar region is located very close to the poles, as well as the North Pole, as well as the South Pole. The third one is temperate zone. Temperate zone is the zone that lies between the polar zone as well as the tropical zone. This is the temperate zone. So based upon the latitude, globe may be divided into three zones: tropical zone very close to the equator, polar zone very close to the poles, and the temperate zone. The zone lies between tropical zone and the polar zone. So based upon the latitude, the climate will changes. For example, the places which are located in the tropical zone, especially you take the Indonesia, you take the Ecuador, these places receives the higher insolation. That's why these places are very hot. But you see the Japan, you see the Russia, you see the Canada, these places in the polar zone. That's why these places receive the cool temperature. That is the difference between these two, the tropical zone as well as the polar zone. Let us see the location of our country. In which zone our India located? Our country is located in two zones. That is tropical zone as well as the temperate zone. Let us see through the map. Let us see the rough sketch of our country India. Here our India may be divided by one important latitude, that is Tropic of Cancer. The Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of our country. The South India located below the Tropic of Cancer, and North India located above the Tropic of Cancer. The South India, which lies below the Tropic of Cancer, this falls under the tropical zone. But the North India, it is above the Tropic of Cancer. It falls under the temperate zone. So, tropical zone, this South India, it experiences the high temperature when compared to the North India. This is the location of our country. Both India is lies both in the tropical zone as well as in the temperate zone. Let us see the land and water relationship. Second factor, land and water relationship. Just to discuss about the latitude, now we are going to learn about the land and water relationship. Continue.